Welcome on in, everybody. So there's this tag going around that is quite fortuitous because on the members end, a couple times a quarter, we get together and we do Fight the Sunday Scaries. And the game we've been playing as of late is Tiny Bookshop. So if I were to actually follow through on kind of a goal that I actually was thinking about doing on tour last year, just to make tour travel easier, if I were to open a tiny bookshop, what would it be like? And let's play, well, Tiny Bookshop while we talk about it. See you here in a minute. Welcome on in, everybody. My name is Jenna O'Malley. I am your soul writer, author of sci-fi fantasy with dashes of romance and nerdy references, alongside the raw healing stories my characters in the Myrna Annals, Vitae Langica, and soon to be more. We throughout time and space, I do dare like to get together with a couple of fellow professional nerds who happen to be soul writers and soul bards and rock out doing whatever we like to do from the soul, one book, one sprint, one stream, one vlog, one game for relaxation, or tag video at a time. Let's go ahead and go with all of the questions that are on the sheet. I think there's about 10. Robert G. Reader of Books was the first person, according to several people who I have seen have done this. So I'm going to go ahead and credit Robert and a couple of other people in the description box below. And of course, if you want to join in, I challenge you to do the same. First, let's resume our game. Enjoy the copyright-free tunes. So this game has been around for a bit. We've been playing it for a couple of months now, and I'm just going to pop the questions right there as we go through each one and game a little bit. First, I need to check my quest journal like a good little nerd. Okay, the last place I was at Far Beach. I need to go to the waterfront fish market today. Okay. So, with that being the case, question number 1. What would be the name if I were to actually open my own real tiny bookshop in real life? It probably would, to be honest, be very similar to the one in this game. I have a tiny sedan. I drive a 2011 Hyundai something or other sedan. Elantra Sonata. I've owned one of each. I can never remember which order I own them in. I just called this one Gandalf. The last one was Slingshot. So Gandalf definitely has been a friend, we'll put it that way, in more than one ways, because Gandalf is the vehicle that got me through most of my teaching career, to the point that Gandalf no longer is safe to drive on long trips. I have to borrow a vehicle to go out of town, essentially. So it would apply otherwise. Therefore, I've been considering that I have to buy a new vehicle here soon anyway. I might as well at least get an SUV that can handle all the totes and the canopy and the tables and the chairs for an actual, real tiny bookshop in real life. I need some fantasy just because I know certain people will pop in, and I need some crime, not ones. Pick and choose, that's good enough. I like to have no fewer than 5. Let's make, yeah, that's fine. So what would I name it? It would probably be a mobile situation like this, or like a van, if not like a tow I hook to another vehicle. And I probably would keep up with the theming of have a look, matey. What I've been doing for the Myrna Annals so far. The MyrnaAnnals.com is the current home of Amaranth's Library, which hosts the Myrna Private Collection. That is the membership for my readers. That is them only. I moved it there a while back. And I probably would call it the Myrna Private Collection or the Mobile Private Collection. Something playing on that. Or like an old world library on wheels in some way, hence Amaranth is the name. Oh, fishy? Can I talk to you? Municipal maintenance. Okay, that might be a hint that I need to go to the lighthouse on the next day we play. So, therefore, number 2, what are the hours of operation? Probably noon to dusk-ish. If it's mobile, I'm going to go to different spots around town. Definitely do apply for me. I am also going to have an easier time getting to vendor shows. Yee, our little bookshop pupper's so cute. Hi, buddy. He's the bestest. So number 3, is there ambient music? What kind? I am a classical trained lover of classical games, their soundtracks, movie soundtracks, musicals, video games all do apply. So probably would have like a nerd mix, if you will. The pain has been keeping Tilda all from sleeping properly. How can you hardly put your shoes on in the morning? I don't know, but for this job, I totally would. Number 4, is there a coffee bar? Do you serve any adult drinks? We'll word it that way. We surely will. I'm in a weird mood anyway. For this one, I probably would lean into like, if you, the Caffeination Station, if you look them up here on YouTube, I would be very much like them if I were to have like a drink option, dirty sodas, if you will. So like, you can use any of my coffee flavorings to flavor any soda I would have in the house. I taught high school, so I know what energy drinks do to bodies. I would probably lean more, therefore, not so much into like energy drinks, so that makes sense with the dirty sodas. For me, I'd want to lean into like a tea end, so I would have like hot coffee, hot tea, hot cocoa, hot stuff for that regard. But then on the cold end, I would have cold versions of those plus the dirty sodas, just because you have the ingredients for, you're just adding one more thing in. And then you can also sell the other sodas individually. I probably would have baked goods. My mom was a cook in a nursing home and worked in 2 different bakeries throughout her life. She taught me a thing or 2, just a little bit. So I could see where that would become part of it. And everyone's like, Jenna, come on, you would totally be gaming, puns intended with what's going on here, as far as like your travels. Like I could totally see like having a table for tabletop sit downs during events. Come here and play your Magic the Gathering cards at my table next to my mobile booth. Have a coffee. If you want to step outside and get to something that's a little quieter for yourself. Let's see. Hello, dear. I usually enjoy a classic piece of literature, and normally I enjoy longer books. Also, I'm trying to read more from female authors. So we are looking at the classics, longer books. Shakespeare, dude, you're out. Oh, Salinger's out. Oh no. I have all. Ooh. Wuthering Heights, eh? Wuthering Heights would be a good option here. I like to double check some of the non-classics just randomly. So I can find something longer than that 300 something that fits the rest of the bills. Moonwalking with Einstein. If you haven't read that, that's an interesting read. No Randall Munro. Gottlieb, Chris, Charles Darwin, not female though. Ooh. No. Okay, I guess it's Wuthering Heights. Unconventional. Okay. I sure, Tilda. Sure. If it's unconventional to you, sure. Number 5. Are patrons encouraged to linger? Bring your TTRPGs, bring your card games, please. Bring your poetry books and your writing stuffs. I would love to have like writing sprints at my booth or something like that. Does that make sense? Also, are there comfortable chairs? Yeah, there would have to be comfortable chairs, even if it's the fold-up camper comfortable kind, because I have bad sciatica, so I'm going to want someplace to sit down when I'm vending once in a while. Always applies. Ozark. I'm not a big Walmart fan, but I did need like an easy to fold up chair. Ozark has a very nice, durable, handles goddess sized bodies extremely well. Director's chair that doesn't take up much space at all, that I highly recommend to a lot of people who vend, because mine has paid every penny of the $25 or so I spent on it back. Also, I'm a fairy lights kind of person. I like to do evening and night markets and fall and winter markets on occasion. So I would definitely have to, hello Klaus. Oh, can you give me He loves on the doggo, Buddy is such a sweet name. Yeah, oh, you rock. He's gonna put the doggo in the song. That's a goal in this game you're supposed to get anyway. So, also, are there any areas for group gatherings? Small. I always, when I go to vending events, advocate for giving an area of their event that is quieter for all the authors to sit in. A lot of times authors get intermixed at various events into the main floor where they're far apart from each other. And it can sometimes make for our conversations, which can run longer than some other vendors, clog up the main floor. So I always like to see the authors have the quieter end where people are given the chance, not like library quiet, but a little bit above that, where you can have those more intimate, private conversations for 10, 15 minutes. Say someone wants to come up and really have an in-depth, like writing a construction conversation with you. Give us that chance to do so, would be my request there. Number 6, is there live entertainment, such as poetry readings, author reading from their current books, lectures, and literature? Yes, because I would totally feature authors who are not me as part of. Like, seriously, let me keep your books on consignment if that's what you prefer and more. In addition to, if I'm somewhere near you vending and you want to come and actually like vend with me in an outdoor space and hang, yes, I'm all for that. It's one of the things I actually love about tours as far as getting to network applies. 7, where is the bookstore located? In the busy heart of a large city, in a neighborhood of large city, suburban strip mall? If I'm mobile like this, I mean, rotating schedule Monday through Thursday-ish. Probably take Mondays off to do my inventory and my admin, not gonna lie. So more like Tuesday through Thursday-ish, have a set schedule of where I am, say, in town here. I could even partner with local coffee shops like Cannon Coffee. There's another one up in Waynesboro, PA. There's so many little places I could partner with and probably even, have a rotating schedule every month and still see a bunch of people, but not hit the same places twice. Then Friday through Sunday, go do shows on the road. Could apply. All right, so today, no events. We're good on funds. I like to wait until these boxes drop all the way down to like 15 or less. So I don't know how many drama. I'm good on drama. Magazines, though. I don't have a lot of those. So let's fill up my magazine rack with fact and travel magazines. Okay. I was hoping it would have given me actual stuff, but whatevs. Okay. Flea market Saturday. We are going to go ahead and do one more, I think. Wait a minute. Friday, Thursday. What happens Thursdays? Let's go to the university on Thursday. Let's go to the university on Thursday. Because the kids would be there. On that note, question number 8. How does your bookstore look from the outside? Sleek and modern, dark and brooding? Ooh. I mean, if I'm theming it akin to my books' series, then we got to consider the fact that my books have a lot of glittery, witchy, woo-woo, metaphysical, mythological, astral realm, other realm walking, travel-y things. So, like, I hear you chattering and screaming in my ear, Neftiri, chill. She's like, oh my God, I want it to look like my study did. That Ian first built me when we moved in Baltimore. Yes, I'm getting there. So essentially, if you take like Morticia's personal study and kind of give it a mad mim zing and a heavy dash of Grandma Sophie, you probably would get something very akin to the study that Neftiri would establish throughout time. Because if you're an immortal, you learn to establish a collection of things throughout time to save your sanity and use your finances well, or you don't do so well as an immortal applies. So it definitely would have a very themed around fantasy, themed around the whimsy, the metaphysical, and more. I graduated in 2005. I wore a prom dress covered in glitter. It was the same prom dress I wore it 2 years in a row because it was expensive. I was not paying for two prom dresses out of my pocket. Forget that. If I wanted to go to prom, I paid for it, not mom and dad. So I would definitely even risk having glittery stuff going on and applying. What is your specialty? Used books, new and used, only fiction, only nonfiction. I would carry nonfiction so long as it meets the metaphysical, the classical, the mythological. I would also definitely go into using fantasy. Like, I tend to write sci-fi fantasy, mind-opening, dark sci-fi fantasy. And therefore, as long as you fall under those umbrellas, I'm smart enough to categorize it into subsections, so long as I would have a big enough space to do so. I actually, right after college, was a substitute librarian at a public school in Cumberland, Maryland for almost a semester while their librarian was out for surgery. And I pretty much ran his library for him. So a lot of those skills would definitely kick in. Let's see, something magical, please. I want to be enchanted. Oh, Nevermore is one of your favorite. Okay, so we're looking for fantasy. Battle of Labyrinth would probably be a bottom choice. Put it that way. Ooh. A little too sci-fi, though. She wants to be enchanted, not dystopian. Huh. I'm leaning between Artemis Fowl and the Battle of the Labyrinth. I'm trying to remember what I suggested the last time I played. So the closest I might have... Yep. Yeah. Okay, that was a 50-50 risk. Yes, that was the correct pick. You're welcome. Question number 10. Do you specialize in any particular genre or any particular events? I live in an area where there's a lot of different options of events to go through. We shall put it that way. I passed your last exam, big fantasy fanatic. I'm almost out of fantasy. But I don't think I could get poetry. That's an interesting book. If you've never read Coffee First in the World, that's an interesting book. The only thing I have that I think would fall under there is... Yes, good choice. Okay. Events. I would go as far as to say that I would even do... We have a lot of like food festivals and food truck festivals around here. If I'm doing the sweets, the coffees, the dirty sodas and stuff, I'm going to do those on occasion. Kind of like how I would have a rotating schedule throughout my weeks and my month. I would just have a here's where I am this year part of my social media, kind of like I do with my author tour versus my social media YouTube scheduling things by comparison. So I think a lot of us authors already have a lot of the necessary business skills to really figure out how to do one of these, if we so wanted, as like another up level of our business. So last customer, we will help. What's up? I'm into coming of age stories. Something poetic would be nice. And also, I don't mind reading young adult fiction. So, I was going to say, coming of age stories. You've reached Sam. If you haven't read that, please reach at hi. You've reached Loki. Meow. Yes, I would have a bookstore, kitty. Let's get real. Yes. Yay! Okay, so the pluses are like, if we were to go good, better, best, this is like in the good and better option. Let's see how we wrap up this day. see what our final sales are. Oh, we're completely out. Oh, we didn't bring kids' books because we're at the university, duh. But we're completely out of all the fantasy ones we brought, and it looks like the travel books are up on the sales. So that's good. That's really good. You only have about 4. I'm not taking too many books back. My next big goal when working with memberships for Sunday Scaries, we might be changing games. There's a few other options that if you would like to go ahead and check it out, I'd love to go through a journey of with you. And above all, check out the other vlogs I have going on this week. I think we are going to do 4 State Comic-Con wrap-up next. And then we're going to go ahead and look at a deeper dive of what's going on in my head. A lot of us are grieving different parts of ourselves here lately. And I just want to cheer you on through that as I go through a part of the grief process I like least. Catch you on the next one. All my hugs. Love you. See you on live streams next week. I'm coming back May 6th. Are you ready? Are you ready?